All right, I'm in the backside of the blast off tournament in the opening round. I've got 47 minutes and I got to get all of these holes in. So I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I think I can make enough to get in the qualifying round. So I'm just going to go play them and let's make sure I have the right shit in my bags. I'm not sure what bag I'm taking. I've played this hole several different ways. Right now I'm actually trying it out with my rock. I'd probably be better off playing it with my big topper. My rock's only got like 4 or 5 topspin, and if I wanted to get all the way onto the green and get close to the cup, I need about 5, maybe 5.5 with my rock, and I need more than what it's got. It might have 5 and I need 6, but right now I'm just trying to get right off the green and then chip it up. Definitely do not want to end up on the green. I'm going to take my number 2 bag. We're going to run out all the topspin. Just try and bleed it out there. 3, 6. Need to turn my grid on. There's 3, 6 and some. Hit a 1 ring great to the right. Need to put my perfect glasses on. Stick, stick, stick. I bought some glasses specific for reading and playing Golf Clash. I really bought them just for playing Golf Clash, but they're great reading glasses. And I'd forgot to put them on. I've had them for a while, but I keep forgetting to put them on. But I've been wearing them here lately, and it has really helped me out. I'm getting old, so I was wearing bifocals for a while, and I can't stand the. I was like, I don't really need the bifocals. They're not really. And so I'm just going to get 2 pairs of glasses. And now I wish that I would have got a pair of regular bifocals and a pair of reading glasses. That's what happens when you get old. You got to do shit like that. I think my opponent's right on track. They got it down. They're right towards it. Close. Now, wind has been a factor, but drop has not been a factor. So let's see what we got going on. All right, just hit it perfect and it will go in. Hitting it perfect. That should be in the hole. Should be in the hole. All right, starting out. I need to pick up every shot I possibly can because I'm 100% sure I'm not going to get in all the holes. I'm not going to get them in. I need to pull out my trusty, dusty calculator. Eagle, eagle. Need to make sure that one of my bags here. I normally play short iron stuff. I've switched and I'm normally playing with a Kingfisher, but I want to make sure that I got a Hornet. Here it really shouldn't matter. I'm gonna play this with my Kingfisher. Why not? Why not? And I'm gonna switch to a Marlin ball when I get out there on the course. So what I'm doing is a 30% plus 0.2 at max club, regardless of where I'm at. So I'll do the wind first. Hopefully I go first. I go first. So it's 3.9. So it's 5.07. divided by 1.1 is 4.6, so plus 0.2 is 4.8 rings. And I do not want to roll past the cup like I did earlier. I want to get in the hole this time. 4.8 rings. I need to turn my grid on. You guys got to remind me. 4.8 rings. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. Woo! In the hole. And I brought the wrong ball. Forgot to switch. I've been playing it with a Marlin, and I played with it right there with the katana, so at least it cut the wind down a little. It's hard to make adjustments on that when you've got, because you can't get close to your rings. Where my teammate Dunner, I posted the front 9, he's doing the rough bump over here, and you can get a lot closer to your rings. I'm doing a plus 30 because I'm down in that hole, and he's on the rough, he's doing a plus 20. Ooh. And that, I'll tell you, my opponent is lucky, super lucky that I made that hole-in-one, because that shot right there, I had to do that on the front. That is an overpower putt, and it's a side hill putt, so you can't see the cup, you can just see the glow. All right, hole number 3. Hole number 3, and I've dinked around on hole number 3. Let's make sure I got the right bag. Let's make sure that I think I'm going to use this bag right here, and I'm using a Titan, the king of balls. Let me open up a chest, get one rolling. Hey, get off there. Don't like to play without an empty slot. We're harvesting cards here, that's the deal. Hole number 3. And I'm doing like 3. I switched this up. I started the week off, I was taking it with my extra mile, but I switched to my rock because it's more accurate and the ball guide's a little bit better. And I think I was still doing the same kind of top spin. It was like 3 1/4. Now I'll be curious if they go for that island spot. In my experience watching opponents hit that island, half the time they miss their first shot. And with my extra mile, I was actually pulling back to the plus 5 mark and then doing 3 1/4 top spin. With tailwind, I was doing 3 1/4, and with headwind, I was doing 3 1/2. And I was right up there in between the 2 shadows. Because you don't want to do what my opponent just did. Right there, that's it. They're done. Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Can we say bad? I'm going to pull back just a little bit more. I'm not interested in being where my opponent's at. I'm at the plus 9 range right there. 4-4, and I'm doing 20%, so that'd be 8. That'd be like 5-2, roughly. I'll put a little bit of curl on it just to make sure I stay on the left. And I hit it to the left. About 7,000 rings. That's 2, which equates out to about 7,000, and I might be in the same boat my opponent's in. Whew. There's a spot down there. There's several spots on this course where you can hit in one of those. If you hit wrong in those, there's a lot of movement. So if you hit in one of these little hollow spots in the wrong spot, the ball will just shoot. Instead of taking a bounce forward, it just slides, and once it sets the slide, you're in big trouble. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull back about a ring and a half. Here's the red line. I'm doing max backspin and one side spin. I want to get right into that area right there. I'm going to pull back one ring from the red line, about 1.5 rings, maybe 2. And then I'm going to take the 2.5 out. It's 1.2 per ring, so it's about 2 rings. And then I'm doing a max overpower backspin shot. I hit it a ring, 2 rings, great to the right. I need to come back just a little bit more. What has been happening is it's been hitting farther back, and then once it hits the rough, it doesn't suck back to the hole, it doesn't come back to the hole, it just gets, not in the rough, but in the fairway right there, and then it gets caught on the fringe, or in that little fairway area. And so I've been trying to pull the shot back a little bit. I could probably come there with a katana and achieve the same goal and save myself a Titan, but I got a bunch of Titans, so I'll burn one. In my experience, if you're coming into this cup from distant, this is a tough hole to get it in the cup. I've had more success coming from the right, trying to bring it back to the left, than I have trying to shoot the straight up shot like my opponent did. Whew. That is brutal. Brutal. In the hole. All right. And we'll see which way the wind's blowing on this next hole. If it's headwind, I'm going to do a +30. If it's tailwind, I'm going to do a +20. And I want to bring a grizzly and a katana. A grizzly and a katana. I got a grizzly. I have a katana. All right, here we go. Open up a chest. Harvesting some clubs. Got the farm equipment out. Off we roll. We are getting side wind, so I'm going to do the 20%. So 1.2 times whatever the wind is divided by 1. If I can get an opponent. Maybe. Maybe. Here we go. I haven't gotten a hole-in-one on this hole this week. This par 3 and the last par 3, I haven't hit the hole-in-one, but I am trying to do a rough bump here, and I haven't never played this in tournament where I'm doing a rough bump. Okay, it's 3.6 rings, and I still forgot to turn my grid on. There's 3.6. Hit it perfect. Just, and it looked like where I set up, it looked like it was going to be a little short, and I tried to move it over, and the ball guide ran across the back of the green, and I didn't want to mess around with it. I didn't like that spot at all. Close. That's definitely the closest I've been all week. There's not a lot of flat areas to hit up to the green. That's the problem. And if you're out in front, out here, trying to hit it straight up, then you're going through the worst part. Look at up there at the green. You can freeze pause your video and look up towards how much movement there is on the green if you're trying to go straight at it. You better hope you roll off. Whew, you got lucky there. because that is not a putt you want to have to take over the top of that hill. You can't see the cup, and that might be in that area where it's a overpower. All right, this next hole, and the first thing I got to do is turn my damn grid on. And the shot to the cup, I'm doing a 1.175 times whatever the wind is. I should be, if I get to the right spot on the drive, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Let me get out of here and get my grid on. Got the test grid. You guys are making me open up all kinds of chests. What's the deal? I am moving myself up the ranks, though. That's good. Quickly. Let's open up a chest. Clear out a slot. And what am I using on this? I'm using a big topper, and I want to make sure, let's make sure what I got here. Big topper. Okay, that bag will work. And I want to use a Kingmaker. Or, excuse me, I can use a Katana. That's the whole reason I've been demoing this shot all week, just to show everybody that there is a way to play this hole. And this is a great way to play this hole on one-on-one, because you can play it with like a Quasar. Depending on how the wind's going, you may have to put a little bit of overpower if you use a Quasar. You're right there with a Katana. But you can use a lower power ball here, and you can use a big topper. And you can use a lower developed big topper. What you're looking for really is the curl. This big topper does have a little bit more distance on it. So you could use an extra mile. There's a lot of different I mean, you could use any of the clubs to get up there. But there's more than 2 ways to get to the right spot. Psychosocial goes first. So most people are trying to get up in front, or you can try and get on, but it's super narrow to try and get on. But if you're trying to stick yourself right up there in front, you can bring a bigger ball and use that island. You're right at your red line with a 3 power ball, so if there's a headwind, you either have to do overpower or bring out a 4 power ball, but you can hit from the other side and get the same result. Let's hope. Let's hope we can go over there and pick it up. Hitting it perfect. El perfecto. And that's going to be close. Oh. Close. That is too bad. Big Tapa. Want to be 2 rings off of that transitional surface. I want to see where my second bounce is. Okay, that's where I want it. And where I want to be is, you see that big tree there, you can see the trunk of it. I want to be on the right-hand side of that trunk. 2.6, and I'm doing 20%, so that's 5, so it's 3.1. This is 2.1 per ring, so it's about 1.5 rings. Doing curl to the edge of my grid line. Hitting it perfect. Right out in front. I should be about mid short iron, or excuse me, mid wedge. And I'm going to run all my topspin out. And I'm doing 17.5% to the cup. I was doing 20, but it was putting me, like with this wind, it shouldn't really be a big deal, because the wind's going straight to the cup. But with the side wind that we were getting, if I did a 20%, I was still getting in the hole, but I was actually getting in on the side of the flagpole. And I'm trying to pull it back to the flagpole. And at mid wedge, it's 2.4 per ring. Close. Close. But you have to hit it perfect. If you don't hit it perfect, it's not going to go in the hole. Okay, it's 4.5. equals divided by 2.4. It's 2.20 rings. I want to give a shout out to one of my fans. Errata Dad reminded me to turn off the in my odd account, because if you got the visual effects on, it gets really choppy on the edge. But if you have the visual effects off, that it doesn't give you that choppiness. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. And right there, I even slightly over pulled it right there. So if you don't have the visual effects on and you get down on, especially in your wedge, you get down there, the edge of the rings aren't smooth like that. You got the little blades of grass going up, and it's hard to find the actual edge of it. And I turned it off in my 77 account, but I had totally forgot to turn it off in my odd account. And I took a shot the other day, and shit, you couldn't tell. Hole number 6, and I think we're getting headwind on this hole. Slightly. And I've had problems on it because I haven't been able to get up there, but I'm going to use a bigger ball today. I'm using the Albatross ball so I can put some extra topspin on, and I'm using my extra mile. Open up a chest. Tap it out. And I probably, with the Power 5 ball, could use my big topper, and I might actually get a better result because I've got more topspin. Definitely need to get to the Albie here. I haven't gotten the Albie all day. I played 2 rounds today. I played a round this morning and then a round with Dunner when I got home from work. And I didn't get the Albie either time. I was short iron up there, and the first one Dunner told me, you need to run that through. You're not close enough, because we were both on the hole, and he's like, you need to run that through a little bit farther. And I was like, no, it's been rolling out. But I was so close up there that I had put on, usually I like to come into the hole with about 1 backspin, but I'd had to put on like 3 in order, because I was right at the red line, minimum club. And I wasn't thinking about the fact that I had ran that much backspin on. And ended up just short, right on track, but short. I got that all on. The wind's going to push me about over to there, so I'm going to come over just a titch. And I'm not going to put on quite max overpower. Hit it 1 ring great to the left. It's a little better. It's hard to tell on that when because you're so downhill going to that island. When there's tailwind, it carries it forever, and headwind really does kill it. But I left a little teeny bit on the table, but I'm definitely in my wedge range. Definitely. Kmart sucks. See if my opponent can get in from there. Never get discouraged when you're in your rough iron or your sandwich. You can still make those shots, especially if you really... There we go. Nice shot. Nice. Good job. El Perfecto. Okay, where am I at in my club? There's Max. Run some topspin out. See how far away I can get from the hole. Okay, it's 2.4 per ring, so I'm going to do a 1 ring pull. Let's see where that puts me. All right. Need to hit this perfect. Hitting it perfect. At least I gave myself a look. Oh, it scooted. So if it doesn't hit the flagpole, it ain't going in. It picked up a little bit of speed when it hit the green right there. Arr. Good game. Good game. I'm saving some of those. I'm saving some for the weekend round. If I can get them all in today, I definitely need to get them all in. I'm in the qualification zone, but it'd be nice. I got 21 minutes, so I'm looking good. This hole right here. Okay, I'm pretty much gonna play with the same shit I got. I'm still trying to figure out. I think I need to take the wind out and one topspin. I need to not put all the topspin on. And I'm going to switch up balls. I think with that wind right there, that's about, so it's 3.3, but really the way it's pushing, it's about 1.6, 1.7. So it's close to our ring. And this hole is hitting long, so I may just switch to a power 3 ball. There's a bounce that you can get when you're coming up right in this area right here. If you catch that at the wrong spot, and I did this earlier and it was like perfect. It was coming up to the green, it was doing its thing, and then it got to that spot and it scooted. And when it scooted, it was really bad. It put me on the back side. So I'm gonna do a little less than max topspin. Where does that put me? Three, 4. I'm going to do a 2-ring pull, and then I'm going to put the forward moving distance back on it, which isn't a lot. Hitting it perfect. Let's see if I can get it to shoot through the deal with and end up on the green, but I'm not. And this is, it got right to that spot right there, and see how it kind of rolled out, and it wants to go really fast. I'm trying to give myself I'm trying to get greedy as hell on here and give myself a shot at hole-in-one. I've been laying it up where my opponent's at, and that's actually like I'm fine right there, because you can just do a normal. If you use a rapier, you can do a normal shot with your rapier right there. You can run all the topspin and you can get way back. So the wind may still be a factor, but it's one of those shots that you can easily get in the hole. But I have been trying to get a little bit greedy. It's easier to do when you got a little bit of tailwind, when you got a little bit of headwind, if you want to get up there without doing any overpower. I had a slight bit of overpower on that. But those little moguls right before you get to the cup or get on the green have been dangerous to me this week, because if you catch that bounce where you're on the downhill slide and it bounces, it'll slip and just slide forward instead of bouncing. And the screen's got a lot of movement coming up to it, and so it's easy to catch that spot. Eagle. All right, this next hole has been pissing me off. Let's see what kind of wind we got here. Continue. All right. And I'm going to do the plus 15 with headwind, so it's 1.15. And I definitely want to take a sniper, and I'm using a Marlin. And I think I can use I can use a navigator here and cut the wind down just a little. So 1.15 times the wind. I'm using 1 backspin. And I'm actually taking, I don't normally like to use backwards to roll to the cup. There's a couple holes in the game that that's the way. I can think of one par 5 that there's a really good backboard. There's a couple shots in the game. There's a par 4 I can think of where I use the backboard, but there's not a lot that I use the backboard and try and roll back down to it. I'm more into rolling up to the cup. But the way that the little hill is right in front of this, it's so inconsistent. It's on a mound, but if you can come in from behind, you're on a little bit better terrain. We'll see. We'll see. 4.3. It's 4.94 rings. And I like to be white ring on the transition. Let me switch this ball up to a freaking Navigator. I don't need a power 3 ball. 4.3. It's 4.94 rings. I am a little 4.94. Yeah, let me get a little squared up. There's 4. I'm just going to do the 5. When you start trying to split hairs with the 4.94, it's easy to over or under. You can't hit it anything great and expect good results. There's one hole in the game that they've changed to par 3, and it used to be how the cup, where the cup was at, you could be that far away from it, and you had this huge side hill, like just literally that far away. You had this massively hard putt. Didn't hit it perfect. I got nobody to blame but myself. Damn it. In the hole. In the hole. 2 holes left. I got enough time? I think I do. It's a draw. Or do I only have 1 hole left? I only have 1 hole left. All right. I guess I'm there. All right. Let's see if we can get the Albie on this. I've picked up the Albie on this hole twice this week. And this isn't normally a huge Albie hole for me, but I'm playing it pretty aggressive, so I am taking a little bit of risk. And the one thing is I need to switch this to a Hornet, because I made an Albie with my Hornet and I made an Albie with my Kingfisher, but my Kingfisher doesn't have enough topspin to do the rough bump, and I had to use more backspin to get it in there, and got lucky and got it in the hole. Okay, I'm doing plus 20 on the drive at plus 8. And I need to switch the balls to a Kingmaker. This is the one hole I need to bring a Kingmaker on. And let me check that real quick. I got enough time here. Let me make sure I switch that to a Hornet. Okay. I looked at the Hornet, but I wanted to make sure I switched to the Hornet. I think this might be one of the fastest rounds I've ever played. Because normally I look at the holes beforehand and I want to get an image in my brain. I want to make sure I'm playing in my game plan on that hole. But I played 2 rounds already today, so I kind of remember the holes. Let's see if we can get another Albie, though. That would be nice. Yeah, I'm doing 20% on the drive. At the plus 8 mark. My opponent's trying to get pretty much to the same area. If I brought a power 5 ball, I could probably just get over the other side and I could save myself some heartache. They're going to end up in that sand. Did they get over? No. No, that shot, I mean, you still got a great shot from there. No doubt about it. Okay, I'm pulling back. I'm going to be 2 rings off the transitional surface at the plus 8 yard mark. Slightly less than max topspin. And 3.1 divided by divided by 1.5. It's 2.48 rings, 2.5 rings. See if we can get lined up with the wind. There's 2.5 rings. Max curl. Just a slight bit of overpower. Hitting it perfect. And I probably could bring out a power 5 ball and just get over to the other side. Oh, and I caught the scoot. I'm going to end up. That's the thing on this course, is there's a lot of spots on this course where you can catch that, where that should have just bounced forward. I still feel good. Okay, I'm doing just a straight up wind adjustment, minus 0.1. And I think I should be able to do the rough bump with my Nirvana. I could go straight at it, but I think where I'm at, I still got a pretty good angle on the rough bump. We'll see. We shall see. See where I'm at in my club first. I'm going to just do the wind in my head. I should be about mid club, maybe. Okay, there's max. There's mid. So I'm in the mid. I'm eking towards the mid range, which is about 4 per ring. Let's see if I have enough topspin to get me there. Hell no. Hell no. All right, all right. Make me backspin it in. Okay, you want to make it that hard? I can do that. Okay, it's 4 per ring. So 3.5 divided by 4 is 0.87 minus 1, so it's 0.77 rings. There's 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to have to blast it off. Oh, and I hit it. I needed to let it go by one more time so I could settle it. Definitely had the distance. Stop. Stop rolling. Didn't give myself enough time. Didn't. All right. Still shot a 32, and I missed a couple of the... I missed several of the shots that we really need to make, but I picked up... I think I picked up 2 on both sides. But I dropped 6 on both sides, so that put me back. So I picked up some shots that would have put me... You got to get better than a 32. I don't know what's at the top, but this is my prediction, is that this week you've got to shoot... Our minimum score that we're looking for is minus 32, and anything plus will get you into either, depending on your bracket, it can get you into first, or it can get you in a banner or close. You know, now you're in the hunt. They're talking about you because you're there, but you have to shoot better than the 32 in order to like really give yourself a shot at a win. And picking up that mid par 5 is definitely crucial. I'm in third. What's the separation? Albies. Man, they got 3 Albies. Look at that. Good job. They get Albies on. They got Albies on hole number 6 both times, and they got 1 on 18, on 9. And I picked up 9 on the front, but I dropped, and I only picked up 2 on the backside. I thought I got it on the front, but that must have been on my other account. Getting the run. Yeah, 6 has been my Achilles heel. I haven't been, when I've been in the right spot and I hit it perfect, I've been pretty good, but I need to get closer than where I'm at. I need to work on hole number 6. I haven't been able, the part of the problem is that I normally on hole number 6 I use power 4 balls, and then I can get my shot consistent from, depending on how the wind's blowing, I can still get my shot consistent with the power 4 balls. But I've been using power 3s and power 5s, and while the power 5s you would think, wow, you could get up there better, the power 5's almost too much. And the power 4 I can be in a fairly consistent spot. So 6 is my Achilles heel, and I need to work on that. The par fours I feel pretty confident on, especially if I can. They're dangerous as hell because of that scoot that we're getting, but I think I can get them down, putting myself in position. In the weekend round, I'm going to have to shoot a 17 per side. I'm going to have to come in with a 34 in order to have, in my opinion, in my brackets, it's your 32 is you're going to get caught up in some tiebreaker stuff at 32, but if you can shoot better than 32 and separate yourself from the crowd, then you're really talking about being in the hunt. All right, there you go. It's RJTV. GC Tommy Guns, RJTV up at the top. Look at that. Following one of the masters. Good luck. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Everybody stay safe, and I will hopefully I'm going over to the Oregon coast tomorrow. My wife and I are going to go over there for the weekend, so I'm not sure when I will shoot my rounds, but I'll get a hold of Kevin, and hopefully we can shoot our practice accounts, and then try and match up. And we got lucky earlier on the front nine. We were able to match up on every hole, so hopefully we can get matched up on every hole and have a little competition. Thanks for watching, and really seriously, everybody stay safe and have a great weekend.